Hi everyone, happy spring. We hope you had a great Easter. Here is just an update for you of this past month. So this past month, we officially started our super small groups. And so we have 7 groups meeting throughout the week through just different leaders in our church have taken on the role of leading one of the groups, and they have been going through the book of John together. And so I'm just excited to see the fruit that comes from all of these groups. And I know my group has just been profitable, and it's been a fun time together.
Also, about mid-March this last month, we had our first 2 mission teams of the year. One of them was from Houston, Texas, and another was from South Carolina. And so that week, it's always good for us to have teams here because it's just fun to tell people about the city, tell people about the church, tell people about what we're doing, and to see people get excited for it. It's always good and encouraging to us. But they came and they passed out flyers, they prayer walked, they did trash pickup, they did surveys. But one of the things that we did one day is one of the teams brought a food truck from another ministry out in Queens. They brought this truck up to our neighborhood, and they had hot dogs, some coffee, some quesadillas and water. And we were able to just invite people to come grab some food. And it was a blast. We got to meet so many people in our neighborhood, and we got to have tons of conversations. One of those conversations, I got to meet a guy in our neighborhood, and he's been coming to the church the past few weeks. One thing that's funny is people know that if there's a group of young teenagers with backpacks are walking around the neighborhood, they kind of know that they're with us now. This team, they were standing outside of our building, and 2 ladies came out and said, "Are you with the young couple in the building?" Which is great, and it could be not so great because they know they're with us, but that opened the door for them to point them to the church. And these ladies have been coming to church the past couple weeks. And so it's just, teams are always fun, and we're thankful for them. And it's cool to see the fruit that's already been coming from their work.
So our big event this last month was an Easter egg hunt. And so we, our goal was 2,500 eggs, and we actually got 3,200 eggs. And so thank you for those of you that donated to make that possible as well. And so the Wednesday before Easter, we had a packing party where our church members, we got together and we packed the eggs, and some people sampled the candy. But it was just a great time of fellowship as we got ready for this event, coming together to serve and to do this event for our community. And so this Saturday before Easter, we set up and we put out all the 3,200 eggs, and we had lots of families that came. 37 new families came that day, and just got to talk with them. And some families said they were looking for a church, and so it was just cool to see our community, and cool to see our church coming together and working together towards that end. And so I'm excited to see how God continues to use fruit from that day.
After the Easter egg hunt, I spent that afternoon texting all the families that we had gotten contact info from. And it was about 31 families, new families, never been to the church that we had to reach out to. And so I had no idea what to expect for Easter Sunday. But on Easter Sunday, we had our first service in the morning with worship and our sermon and prayer time. We had free donuts, and it was just good. It was just a sweet day to get to celebrate our risen Savior, the hope that we have in Jesus, that He lived, died, and rose again for us, and that we are set free from sin. And so it was just great to be with our church. For our kids service, we had 5 new families come, which was super exciting. One of them, her family, they come to our ESL class. She's one of our students, and she brought her daughter, and she brought a friend who brought her son. And there were a couple other families that we had never met and just met from the Easter egg hunt that came to that. And it was so much fun. It was a great day. We played games. We had some teaching time, talked about the resurrection, and talked about the Great Commission, that now that we have this hope and we've trusted in Jesus, we're supposed to go, and we need to tell people about the hope that we have. One of the things we did in the kids service is we drew a raffle. All the families that came to our Easter egg hunt, they got a little red ticket that if they brought it on Easter Sunday, we would draw a raffle and they would win a prize. And so thank you so much to First Baptist Kingfisher for providing for those prizes. At the end of the service, we had a special thing where the kids got to pie me in the face. I've told you before, we've been doing some memory verses that are a little difficult for some of our kids, and so we were seeing just kind of a decline in them, trying to learn it. And so I encouraged them, and I said, if 5 kids can learn this memory verse, those kids will get to pie me in the face on Easter Sunday. And the next week, they all knew it, and they were super excited. And so we gave them each a pie, and they sat me down, and they smushed a pie in my face, and so that was super cool. But then Jordan, our pastor, we challenged the parents as well to learn the verse, and so 4 moms got to pie our pastor in the face on Easter Sunday, and it was so much fun. It was a great day just to be with our church and to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus and get to tell people about the hope that we have. And so we're just so thankful for the immediate fruit that we saw from the Easter egg hunt, and I'm excited to see if these families will continue to come.
So I have some upcoming events for the month of April. We are having a few men's events this month, and so one thing that the men are going to go do is go to a Yankees game, and they're also going to have a men's lunch. And so it's just a good opportunity for our men to gather around and to invite men in the community also. And so I know that they're looking forward to that. Another event, as we always have, is our Blessing Bag Sunday, which this month will be on the last Sunday, April 28th. Last month we kind of moved it a little bit for Easter, but yeah, this month, April 28th. So if you'd like to donate any non-perishable foods, just let us know, and you can give towards that.
In closing, we have some prayer requests for you guys. First, for our English as a Second Language program. If you don't know, many Muslims around the world are celebrating Ramadan, where they fast from sunrise to sunset for 30 days. And this is supposed to be an intense time of prayer. So we have Muslim students in our class, and they come and they'll talk about how they are tired, and they'll talk about how they are hungry, and how their sleeping schedule is all backwards. And so we're just praying for these students that as they are trying to seek God, that they are trying to approach the Father, that they will be led to the Son. As Jesus says in John 14:6, that He's the way and truth and the life, and that there is no way to the Father except through Him. And we're praying that our students know that, and that God would use us to tell them that, whether it's through just our actions because of language barriers or whatever it is. But we're praying that God would reach our students and point them to His Son and the hope that is found in Him. With our kids ministry, we are praying that we will see these new families that we met from the Easter egg hunt, that they would continue to come, that we get to see them out in the neighborhood and get to invite them back to church and build relationships with them, that God would give us wisdom as we try to point young kids and older kids to the Lord, that they would see and understand their need for a Savior in the way that they can comprehend, that would bring them to trust in Jesus as the Lord. And for the parents as well, because many of them, they need Jesus too. And so we want them to know the hope that they can have in Jesus. So we're just praying for the fruit to continue to grow from that. With our teen ministry, we've continued to have our study hall and Bible study, and we've seen God provide opportunities to have gospel conversations and to give wisdom and some sort of insight the best that we can. But every week is a reminder of just how broken our world is and the lies that are thrown at teenagers every single day, and we have an enemy that is seeking to steal, kill, and destroy, and to confuse them. And so I'll be praying for them, that God would guard their hearts and guard their minds, that He would use us to point them to the truth, that He would give us grace and wisdom of what to say and what not to say, and how to best love them and point them to the Lord. If you could be praying for our small groups that are meeting throughout the week. We are hoping that the Lord will use this to build brotherhood and sisterhood in our church, that He would deepen friendships and relationships, but He would also build up leaders, people that are pursuing the Lord daily in prayer, in the Word, that are meeting together, that God would use this to build up people in our church who would serve in ministry, who would create ministries that will be able to serve in the church long after Jordan and Becky, me and Hannah are gone, that this church can be sustainable and grow and be healthy. And so we're praying that God would use these small groups. And then if you could be praying with the relationships built in the neighborhood. With mission teams coming, we get to meet a ton of new people. So be praying that people don't fall through the cracks, that the conversations that we had would not have been in vain, that we get to see people and continue to invite them to church, to point them to the Lord, to love them and serve them. If you could also be praying for the relationships Hannah and I have been able to build, whether it's walking down the street, going to the library, going to the gym, people in our building. There are opportunities that God has provided almost daily for us to get to know people and love them. And so we're praying that God would give us boldness and wisdom to seek out those opportunities and take them. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for continually praying for us and praying for our ministries and everything we do. Thank you to those that support us financially. We would not be here without you. We wouldn't be able to do these ministries and dedicate our lives to the passions and ministries we feel that God has called us to do, and get to meet people and be in the neighborhood daily. And so thank you so much for providing that opportunity for us. We're excited to see what the Lord is going to do this month as we approach summer, one of the busiest times of year. So you can continue to join us in prayer as we look forward to what God has to do. But until then, with that being said, we're going to shut up now.